like whenever Manoj is talking about very, very deep experiences, he gets hair. This morning it happened when he was in the plane. And I was away for the last 10 days, but when I opened Nikita's PowerPoint presentation last morning, the first thing I did was to talk to her, not to talk to Bipin sir. Because I said that what I want to talk to her, let me present to her as what it is. And this morning I was going through the latest journal of psychiatry, and the editorial was competency-based PG psychiatry. What is it? Looking at what some of the suggestions that came, what are we training our students for? Which competencies? And the competencies will be decided by the field. So if you have an Anukampa, your competencies required are different. If you have an NICU, the competencies required are different. So at what level and at what depth should the competencies be defined in homeopathy? Like for example, when I see the type of prescriptions of Tikam Met and Carbovage, and the basis on which these prescriptions have been based, and the competencies in understanding Boger, if you want to prescribe at that level. And I always, whoever has undergone ICR training and have seen MLD's double book with notes by LDD in the same and MLD in the same. So you will realize successive generations who have encountered different clinical states have battled with the text and tried to glean their experience at a particular level. And it is significant that Bipin sir has taken up Boger for his PhD. And it is also significant that LDD did his clinical tutorship in pathology. It is also significant that MLD sir was a worshipper not of Frank Goldman. At that time, the pathology of Frank Goldman was the most popular. But he said that he gives literature. What gives pathology is Sodman and Sodman. That book is no longer available. That book is a book on pathologic physiology. So you will see that the train of thought that has gone through the entire ICR or HPGA from the time LDD started it has been consistently integration of clinical, pathological and homeopathic principles. And recently, while we were struggling with reformulating the BHMS syllabus and all of you are now past it. Maybe the younger, newer entrants who will enter into homeopathic courses in our country hopefully will be exposed to a more holistic syllabus, which is firmly founded on these principles of integration of homeopathic philosophy with clinical thinking. But the battle that homeopathic education will have to always live with is what is the nature of the field on which we will function. If our colleges are going to be classroom colleges, then integration has no meaning. If the colleges are going to be in the field and build up the field from the field to a NICU, different stages, then what we are talking in terms, and now I am making a leap, in terms of consciousness. Because Dr. Bipin sir was talking of consciousness of CPM. And consciousness where the baby is leaving the consciousness of CPR without preparing for the departure. And it is where the consciousness of administration of CPR is trying to restore the susceptibility which has been active. So if we want to explore consciousness of homeopathy, consciousness of homeopathy cannot be in the classrooms, cannot be in the OPD, it has to start from the community and it has to go into places where we are unable to reach the depths of it. And that is what Nikita has pointed out today. Where we had never imagined homeopathy can reach. It is possible that with dedication, with commitment, and what Kapse sir said, most important, with the contribution of the community. Because if the community had not contributed to whatever we have done, we would not have learned what homeopathy can do. And if some of you who are really eager, if you want to read MLD's best paper in the Action Learning Conference, it is on how a university of health sciences can be built up, not by individuals, but by the community working with professionals, with administrators, with different level of people, so that it is possible for the whole, I would call it the consciousness of the community to rise. I had gone to Kashmir. I had gone with a slim book of Aurobindo. And Aurobindo talks of integral yoga. And I think, Nikita, what I experienced today was that integral yoga, where all your capacities, your thinking, your feeling, your action, what we do not talk about normally in medical circles, spiritual. Unless all four of these come together, what you saw today will not. So Nikita, thanks for all that you have shown us, and I hope that some of us will learn from this experience.